Hey guys, welcome to Abby's Aura, so welcome back if you've been here before. Please make sure you're hitting that subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Okay, so today's video is all about how you can change your life in just 6 months. And honestly, sometimes in my past where I felt like if someone said this to me, I'd be like, wow, just 6 months, like that is amazing. But then other times in my past, I'd be like, really, it takes 6 months. So wherever you're at in your journey, just know that these tips are really going to help you grow and really amplify your success and just become the true version of yourself. So I have got a beautiful cup of tea in my friend's mug, just because I've got quite a few things to get through. So if you want to pause the video, go grab yourself a cup of tea, coffee if you like coffee, water. You can manifest amazing things with water. I should add that to my list, but okay, let's get into it. So number one, I do want to say as well, this is just more of a casual sitting down and talking. So I want to be more relaxed and just chat to you guys rather than getting through every point like strict and okay. So number one is learn about shadow work and try and incorporate this into your life. So I feel like I was thinking about this before. I feel like I've grown so quickly spiritually because one of the first things that I was learning about was healing. So I feel like everything throughout this healing journey, throughout this spiritual awakening, has been a lot easier to deal with because I have the knowledge and the understanding of healing and the benefits of it and how energy stores in your body and in which chakras and how it affects your body and things like that. And I feel like that has really helped me, but I just didn't realise that how much that would help me because I didn't know about any of this, these spiritual things before. That was literally the first thing that I was learning about. So I honestly feel like shadow work, healing is the same thing. Shadow work is more when you're doing it yourself, but honestly anything to do with healing and your healing, your inner work and just about them limited beliefs and just the blocks you have, if you can start incorporating that into your life, I am telling you, your life is going to change and it's going to change for the better. Sometimes, I'm not going to lie, it can be the most difficult thing to go through, but we need to just hold space for ourselves and be brave to do that shadow work, because if we are carrying this same energy, we're going to keep manifesting it in our future. So if we have something, if you're trying to manifest something and you've been trying to manifest it for a while and it's still not here, you've probably got something stuck in your energy that's blocking you from getting your manifestation. So not that you constantly have to be searching for something that's wrong, it's just when things come up, you can deal with it straight away rather than suppressing it and carrying on acting like everything is fine when it's not. So healing has been absolutely amazing for me, and there's Reiki, there's tapping, there's journaling even as classed as healing, energy healing, just so much. So definitely highly suggest checking that out. I have a healing for every chakra on your body on my channel. I do Reiki and energy healing, so they're good to check out, as you're going through this process. I've got a few different ones on there, but asking yourself them triggering questions when something comes up. say if it's someone, you know, give you a compliment and then you're so quickly to say like, oh, like say if someone called you beautiful, oh no, I'm not beautiful, yeah, I just got this second hand, or, you know, if something like that came to mind, it's like you're not accepting the compliment because you don't feel beautiful, and you feel like you have to kind of lower your their expectations of you. So something like that, you could then ask yourself triggering questions like, why don't I feel beautiful? Like, why do I feel not good enough? And, you know, you can prompt them questions, and then that will bring it up to the surface to then release it. And then once it's gone, it's gone. So it's pretty amazing. It's magical. It's a bit scary, but it's worth it, because you're just going to keep going and perpetuating the same thing over and over. So that is number 1. I can tell this video is going to be a long one. I definitely grab a cup of tea. Okay, so the number 2 is let yourself be vulnerable. So I am always the one that is so, like, I will let myself be vulnerable to a certain point, and it's always on my own terms. It's always how I'm controlling it as well. It's never completely stripped back. They're vulnerable, and I am learning. I'm still going through the process, just like you guys. Like, I don't know everything. I don't know every answer. I am just learning as much as you guys. I'm just, you know, taking you guys along the journey with me. So it's so amazing when you're vulnerable, because you grow so much from that experience, and you actually start to release things and just let things go, rather than pretending like everything's okay and like you have to be the strongest one in the room all the time. So for me, being like controlling my own life was a big deal, and pretending like I was okay, I'm fine, why you keep asking me, I'm fine. Like, there's just so many different walls I'd put up, and I'm still breaking them down now. But every time I'm faced with something, I allow myself to be vulnerable and honest with myself. Like, okay, there is something here. I don't always have to be perfect. I'm going to allow myself to be vulnerable and express this thing, to allow it to, you know, to understand why I'm feeling this way, and to then remove it. So just that one moment of realizing, okay, I'm allowed to not know all of the answers, and I'm allowed to, you know, not always be perfect. That was such a big moment for me, like, oh, okay. So just being honest with yourself and allowing yourself to be vulnerable, because you're the one that's going to get the rewards from it. It's not about anyone else. It's about you. So that was a big one for me. The next one is to get used to fear. And I know that sounds so crazy, but when you're experiencing this fear from your ego, not fear from, oh, let's jump off a cliff or let's run into a fire, definitely none of that, please no. But the fear as in when, okay, I want to do this, but it feels a little bit scary. Like, I want to take this course, but it feels scary, because that's what it was for me. That's why I always say that. Or I want to go on this trip, but it feels so scary. I want to go camping for the night last minute like I did, but it felt so scary. Like, that kind of fear. That's just your ego trying to keep you in the same place, and, you know, going through the same things, because it knows that routine, and it wants to feel the comfort of the routine. When you push outside of that routine, and when you push outside of that comfort zone, the fear comes up, but just because you're growing. So get used to feeling that fear and get comfortable with it, because if you can have comfort even when you're in the fear, I am telling you, there's just no limits after that, because this is the place where I'm finally at now, and I'm starting to feel more and more comfortable with feeling that fear. Like, it comes up, and I am telling you, like, sometimes I feel like running away, but giving myself the room to be vulnerable in that fear and just be like, okay, and then I'm just brave, and I'm like, I know that this fear is coming up because I'm growing. So I allow myself to feel the fear, it's allowed to stay there, but I also bring in the knowing that everything's going to be okay, and this just means I'm growing, and this just means my manifestations are all, appearing because I'm growing and I needed to grow to get to my manifestations. So being comfortable with fear will allow you to grow in a lot quicker because you're not pushing it away. When the universe is bringing a contrasting situation into your life, it's helping you by doing that. It doesn't seem like it, but it's helping you because it's bringing up these limited beliefs and subconscious energy that you have. It's bringing it up to the surface so you can remove it, because you can't get this manifestation until you remove this. So the reasons why we have these contrasting situations is because the universe is helping you out. It's helping it get out of your system so you can grow and move forward. So be comfortable with fear and it won't rule your life. Be comfortable with it so you can decide to carry on if it's the best thing for you, even when you feel the fear. And that's where you can the sky is the limit. And even beyond the sky, on the other dimensions and all of that jazz. So yeah, that was a really, really big moment when I'm still in that moment. Sometimes I'm like, really? Am I really doing this? And I'm like, my brain is like, yeah, you're doing it. And it's like, it's scary, but it's growth. And that's what I asked for. So I got to experience it. Okay, so the next one is to follow your heart even when it's scary. So we know when we're doing things, if it feels good to us, sometimes. So when I had such bad anxiety, I didn't really know how, sometimes I was very numb and I had such bad depression and anxiety. And then when something felt good, it was filled with so much fear, and I was just so scared because my anxiety ruled my life. It was literally just everything, every thought was about my anxiety, and I chose to listen to the anxiety over my happiness and my heart. So if you follow your heart and how your heart feels, it will be able to guide you. Your heart guiding you is like the divine light. It's like the God. It's like your higher self and your spirit guides and the universe, whoever you resonate with. That's how you can feel them guiding you, is through your heart. And it's how you know that you're truly being guided, rather than trying to go with your logical thinking and your anxiety thoughts trying to guide you, because it's just going to get so messy. But if you truly follow your heart, then you can never really go wrong, because you're doing things that are making you happy. And if it's making you happy and you're in alignment, then we can't lose. We're just going to keep getting one step closer to our desires every time. So today I might have not manifested something that I really wanted, but I know that because I'm in alignment and I'm so happy and I'm following my heart. Let me just add this in there, not all day have I been super happy. You can see my mirror actually is not on the wall anymore because my son knocked it off, and we've had workmen at the house trying to fix the electrics because he's broken it. But I allowed myself to be like, okay, he's a child, it's okay. I give him a cuddle, and I allowed myself to stay in alignment. So when you're, even if you haven't manifested what you wanted that today, it doesn't mean that you're not still moving forward to manifest it. It will just pop up out of nowhere and you'll be so excited. But just following your heart and feeling happy and being in alignment will bring you closer to your manifestation without you even knowing. So following your heart is just one of the most important things, because your heart never lies, and I just feel like it's the most safest way to discover what makes you happy and what makes you you. So try out new things and just see what sparks joy for you and do it. So the next one is say yes to more things. I'm also learning this right now. I have been for a very long time. I feel like lockdown helped me not have to say yes to a lot of things. Like, the things I was saying yes to was easy for me to say yes to, even though some of them was quite scary, as in, like, it was a big investment. But I more struggle with saying yes to, like, adventures and stuff that are outside of the house more. So saying yes to more things has brought so much into my life so quickly, you will not believe. It's just insane how saying yes to one thing that it has nothing to do with your manifestation, it just fills you with so much, like, gratitude. And I felt so proud of myself for saying yes to things that I wouldn't normally say yes to because of a lack mindset. And then saying yes to it, it fills you up with so much joy, and I was just so proud. So saying yes to more things brought more opportunities for me for growth, brought more opportunities for money as well, even though it was nothing to do with that. But just saying yes and allowing myself to trust in the universe that it will all work out and that it will all be safe and I'll enjoy myself and I'll create memories. It just brought so much more of my manifestations into my life, even though it has nothing to do with it. So I really feel like saying yes to more things really helps you. The universe, the universe is always watching you. So if you're constantly saying no, it's like you're blocking things off. But when you're open and expansive and you're like, okay, yes, I'm going to do this, it just shows the universe that you're open to receiving more, and not just in that one category of whatever it is that you said yes to, just in every other aspect of your life too. And I'm still so shocked about this. You can see on my other videos of how I said yes to camping and then it just led to so much more, and it was just camping for that one night, but it was just spontaneous and it just opened so many doors for me. So that was a really fun one. But saying yes is just saying yes to all your manifestations. And also it reminds me a little bit about the book I've read. I can't remember what it's called, but I will link it in the description below because it's actually my favourite spiritual book I've ever read. It was just amazing. This guy says yes to pretty much everything and he just follows his intuition, and the surrender experiment, that's what it was, and his life is just amazing. So definitely check out that book. It's pretty amazing and it will really give you some ideas of how to say yes. Okay, so this one is about sitting in silence, and you can also relate this to meditation as well. So not always being on your phone. So sometimes when there's silence, we pick up our phone and we're so quick to fill it with technology or fill it with telly, or that's technology as well, but fill in the space, the silence with something. So a lot of the times what we see when we're scrolling on our phones are just not what we want to manifest, and we are absorbing all of this information in, and it's a lot up here. So whatever we're thinking of up here, and sometimes it's always, the subconscious is manifesting just as much as your conscious. It's actually manifesting more because we're most of the time 95% of our thoughts are subconscious. So if you really think about it, sitting in silence more, reading your own body, reading your own energy, and thinking about like what is going on in your head, the thoughts that you're actually having, and sitting within yourself really will teach you so much about yourself. And you'll see how much you're trying to reach for that phone or trying to stimulate your brain with just kind of like junk, because it feels so odd to just be sat with ourselves and in the silence. And learning to sit in silence will really help you to go into a better meditation as well, because it will clear your thoughts out. It won't be as chaotic with the thoughts, and that's super important if you have anxiety or depression, and also really important with manifestation, because once we breathe and have a clear mind, we haven't got all of this chaos going on in our mind. It's very, very easy to then go into and manifest something. Setting our intentions with a clear mind will help us manifest like 100 times quicker than we would normally. So breathe. I am setting my intention for this video to help whoever needs the help and whoever will resonate with this video. Just as simple as that. Just breathe, be with yourself, and just calm the energy. So that is so much better than having all of this craziness going on in our head and scrolling through our phones and just absorbing all of this, and our brain starts going like faster and faster. It's kind of like on overdrive. So sometimes we just need to just breathe. So start doing that in your day. Maybe I used to set a reminder when I first started doing this to just stop and breathe for a minute, because I genuinely wouldn't do it. My family speaks so fast. I have a big thing about breath, and that's why breath work has been so life-changing for me, because my family naturally speak very fast, and because I had such an anxious mind, I would speak so fast or I wouldn't speak at all. And even when I wasn't speaking, my brain was speaking, my thoughts were just going crazy, and I could never just sit in silence. It was like I was too scared to. I didn't know what would be in the silence. It was so frightening for me. But just learning to not run away from it and just sit in the silence really helped ground me, and I learned to breathe. After my mum passed away, I don't want to get onto like this long tragic story, but after my mum passed away, I remember as she was very poorly at the very end, her breath would go, and she would hold her breath and then she would breathe again, and it really just triggered me. It freaked me out, and it stayed in my energy for a very long time. And then I carried that on for years without even knowing that I had then picked up that breath, the breathing pattern, and I didn't even know this was possible. So I adapted my breathing to kind of mimic what she was breathing like, and she was, very sick. So I adapted my breathing subconsciously to breathe like she was, and I would just hold my breath without even knowing I was doing it, and I was never taking a full deep breath in and breathing out. It was very shallow breathing. So when I went into my healing journey, it wasn't anything about the breath. I actually, after I did the healing journey, and I did it because I had seizures, I took a deep breath in. I was like, I can breathe, and I've got chills, I've got goosebumps now, but I could breathe, and I was like, wow, I haven't been able to breathe like this for years, and I really just realised that I've been doing this. And then the memory of my mum's breathing came back to me in that moment, and I was like, wow, is that why it was? Like, is that why I'm thinking about that right now? And it was mind-blowing to think that I had not been breathing properly for years because that was in my energy. So learning to just take a minute and just breathe. And something actually recently, a few months back, came up from my past, and it triggered that past, and I had to do healing around it. So I noticed that it brought the memories back, and my breath started going off, and I could tell the difference a lot more because I'd been so good and so healthy, and you know, my breath was amazing. My breathing patterns were a lot healthier. So I noticed that when this situation came up, my breath shortened and I would hold my breath a lot more. And I was speaking to one of my friends about it, and I was like asking her advice. She's pretty amazing. She's so spiritual and so cool. And she was like teaching me all these new things, and I was like, wow, this is so interesting that it's come back up again, even though it's nothing to do with that situation, but it came back up. And it's just a kind of, my breath is kind of a link to my past and my old life. And then if I need to heal something, that's how I know my breath goes back to that old pattern. So just being within yourself and just knowing that your breath is everything. If you're not breathing, you're not living. So just really concentrate on centering yourself, and just taking deep breath in and out, and every now and then it'll just center yourself, and you'll be able to manifest so much more easier without manifesting all this chaos. Okay, so this one is setting small goals, and I don't know why I always talk with my hands. Okay, setting small goals and scripting. So I've put these two together because I have had so many amazing scripting story success. I haven't actually uploaded my video on scripting on this new channel, which I will do. It's just reminded me. But scripting for me just feels so amazing to write it down and then be able to tick it off. I love lists, so this is probably why it resonates with me so much. But basically, when you have a visual goal in front of you, and you know what, sometimes when we think we know what we want, when we come to write it down, or when someone asks us, what are you manifesting, we actually don't know what we would say. We're like, well, I would like, and it's like, you should know right off the bat what you want, because if it's not easy for you to think it and, you know, say that sentence, then how is it easy for your subconscious to figure out what you're trying to, you know, manifest, and what's meant to be in the subconscious, because that's why we mostly manifest. But how is it going to be easy for the universe to be like, okay, she doesn't really know, but I know? Well, no, it doesn't work like that. How many times did I just say no? But basically, thinking about short-term goals, and I would say short-term goals now, you can write a scripting list of your 6-month goals, but then write small ones in between. So really sit and think about this, write it down, honestly spend hours on it if you really want, you know, just really going through everything and feeling the emotion it comes up when you're writing and when you're thinking about what you want. Don't feel strict on yourself, you know, don't feel stressed about trying to get everything perfect. Just explore what you want. So when I'm thinking about holidays for our future, I'm like, oh, this would be nice, or this would be nice, and I just have fun like researching places or looking up videos on YouTube about the places. I don't panic because I don't know exactly where I want to go, but if that was on my list, I would be able to put travel, and then having that fun with going through the scripting. And okay, so I would love it to be somewhere near the beach, or for this and that, or you could say something like, I love waking up every morning on our beautiful holiday next to the beach, where it feels so warm, and I feel so connected to this country. Whatever it is, that's just made up on the moment, but really get clear on what you want in a fun way, and then whatever feels good to you. If it feels too clear and too exact, then just go more general. But as long as you have an idea of what you want enough to, okay, I want this, when someone asks you, then that's good enough to write it on a scripting list. And then basically just have fun doing the scripting list, feel into the emotions, because that's going to draw it closer to you. And then when the next one is to celebrate every manifestation. So when you have a manifestation that you can tick off, celebrate it. Even if you ask for a sign from the universe and then you see your sign, celebrate that sign, because that's showing the universe, yeah, she likes this, so let's bring more to her. It's just receiving, so in the most smallest way. But it doesn't matter whether it's a sign, a manifestation, or, you know, the jackpot of the lottery. When you are, it's still receiving. So when you're celebrating that success, big or small, you're showing that you can receive. So that's super important. Write your manifestations down, have fun with it, and just dream about your beautiful future. So I always say dream big and then dream bigger. So don't just have these tiny little small goals and just everything has to be small because you don't believe that you can have this in 6 months, because you're on a growth journey, otherwise you wouldn't be on this video. And I'm telling you, you're going to smash it. If you follow these steps, I'm going to give you, these are all tools that I've personally used, and I've grown so quickly because I've allowed myself to grow. So it's just in your limited beliefs, it's just in them beliefs, whether you believe you can grow or things like that. And the more confident you get, the more you're ticking off your manifestation list, and the more you're celebrating them wins, you're going to feel more and more confident that you're going to be able to manifest more and more. So it's super important to celebrate wins. It gains confidence in your manifestations and brings more belief into your system. Okay, so this one is the most important thing ever, is be kind to yourself. So it feels like I shouldn't even have to say this, but unfortunately I do. I do this to myself, so it's not just you guys. I'm sure, you know, comment below if you find yourself doing this, or if you've just realised and you've not realised before. So being kind to yourself is, when you first say it, you're like, well, of course. But then when you think about it, when someone is telling you that you're beautiful and you're like, oh no, I'm not, that's not kind to yourself. So allow yourself to take the compliments. When you drop something on the floor, don't call yourself stupid in your head. Or when you feel like you don't look right that day, don't call yourself like, oh, I'm fat, or oh, I've got ugly skin, or I've got spots, my hair is crazy today. Like, whatever it is, just be kind to yourself, because you're pretty amazing. You've made it here. Your body is just, if you think about the body, the human body is so amazing. It doesn't even have to like, it just pumps blood around the body and through the heart, and without even thinking about it. Like, we breathe without even thinking about it, although I've had trouble with that in the past. Like, if you think about it, our skin heals itself, but we can't be kind to ourselves when we look in the mirror. It just doesn't really make sense. And I've always tried to be kind to myself, but I still catch myself calling myself names, or just being a little bit unkind to myself, and I try and catch myself doing it and then telling myself, no, it's okay, actually, you know, I'm allowed to have this little pouch right here of like skin that's not like so flat. It's okay, I'm allowed that, and if it stays there, it stays there. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I feel like we all have our little insecurities, and we're allowed to have them, but just try and be kind to yourself, and don't expect yourself to always be so perfect, because that's what I do. So the last one is another I think I've said this is the most important one for like 5 different ones, but they're all so important. But put yourself first. And I do this very well now, actually. I'm very proud of myself for this, and I'm gonna celebrate this success. So I put myself first so much, so much, because I seen how much it helped me and how much it helped my health, my happiness, my sanity. Like, I am selfish in the most best way possible, and I am proud of it, because saying yes to absolutely everyone never got me anywhere. It actually it held me back, and now I don't do that. If I want to help someone, I love helping people, don't get me wrong. I'm not just this person that never helps, but I do it because I want to help them, not because I feel obligated to help, or not because I feel like a bad person if I say no, even though I've got so much already on my plate. Like, I don't do that anymore. And it still feels a little bit, sometimes when I say no, it feels a little bit uncomfortable still, but I know that my worth is what I put it as, not what other people do. So now if I say no, I'm not going to think they think bad of me, or I'm not going to think that, oh no, like, you know, I need to kind of be this person for them to like me. Like, I know I'm already worthy. I already know that if they like me, they like me. I don't care. I like myself. So it doesn't matter to me. But I enjoy helping people, but I do it because I love doing it now. And it feels so much better when you're doing it, because you're doing it without that expectation on yourself, or the worry that, oh no, I've said it yes again. You know, I'm going to have to say yes again next time now, and I'm just being a mug. Just put yourself first, because you only go so far. You can't spread yourself too thin, because you'll never be able to create the life you want, because you're going to be going in so many different directions, and you need to rest, be healthy, because that's the most important thing in the world. You being healthy is just more important than the looks, the money, the freedom, that any material thing. Is your health is just the most important thing. And it feels like upsetting to even talk about it, because it reminds me of my friend Aggie. She is the most beautiful soul, and she's taught me so much. She's so cool. She's actually going through cancer right now, and she tells me so many times, like, Abby, put yourself first. You're doing too much, put yourself first. And I'm like, okay. And I really listen to her, because she's been there. She knows what it's like to want to put everyone first and want to just do the work, because it does feel exciting, but also you need to rest. So she used to do that too, and she always tells me, put yourself first, and, you know, look after yourself, because health is the most important thing in the whole wide world. If you don't have health, you don't have anything. So putting yourself first isn't selfish in a negative way. I promote selfishness, because yes, I'm going to be selfish and allow myself to not do what you want me to do just because I don't want to do it. I need a bath, and not because I'm dirty, but just because I just need to lay in silence. And there's nothing wrong with that. Even if you just want to read a book, there's nothing wrong with that. You can say no. And to the people that don't like that, then it's okay, because you're just at where you're at, and that's completely fine. But I just don't associate with putting myself down for saying no. So I really hope you take something from that lesson, even if you didn't take anything from the lessons before. Just putting yourself first doesn't mean you're selfish in this most negative way. Selfishness is just like, it's kind of like it's just been made into such a horrible thing, when I just want to put myself first and put my health first and love myself. Is selfishness really wrong? Don't think so. I like being selfish, and being selfish means looking after myself more, and then it means I can actually give more, so it's pretty cool. So that is the end of the video. It is a long one. I'm not going to split it up in two because I just feel like it all goes together and it's meant to be long. So if you enjoyed your cup of tea like I have, then yay. Thank you if you made it to the end. I've never made a video this long unless it was a meditation, but I think it's important to show you guys things like this because I can make all of these courses and stuff like that, but not everyone has access to them, and you know, not everyone has the funds to be able to do things like that. So I think things like this are so important, and I'm not just making all these steps up to create a video. Like I know that my students get results, so I want you guys to get results as well without having, you know, if you don't have the resources, then you can still get the help, and I love that. So this is why I'm doing videos like this. And let me know in the comments any other videos that you would, you know, like me to do that will help you guys, because I'm always open for doing what is going to help you the most. That's the whole reason I have this channel. And I'm super excited because it is like just over 5 weeks, just below 6 weeks, and I'm going to be revealing the best. It's going to be in a vlog, so I'm vlogging right now about how to lead up to this manifestation that is happening for me, and kind of like what I've been through on the behind the scenes of the manifestation. So it will really help you guys see the ups and downs and know what it's like. So not everything is always amazing and like perfect, you know, things happen still, but this is how you can manifest this. And I don't want to give it away because it's a secret. It's going to be a surprise, but I'm super excited to be sharing that with you, and I want you all guys to join my family. So subscribe below and please like this video, because I don't think it's going to get pushed out to many people because it's so long vlog, because it's so long and my usual videos aren't this long. So please like the video and maybe share it to people that you know will help them too, just because YouTube only pushes out like searchable content and this is not. So this is going to help so many people, and I want you guys to be a part of my channel. So share it and peace out.